ऑलराइट सो हमारे साथ आज हैं माइक्रो कैप इन्वेस्टर एंड ऑफ कोर्स माइक्रो कैप्स इज समथिंग जो कि हर किसी के लिए मार्केट में जब लोग आते हैं तो बहुत क्यूरियोसिटी होती है कि यार कौन सा ऐसा माइक्रो कैप क्या हमें मिल जाए जो कि मल्टी बैगर रिटर्न हम लोगों को दे पाए बट देन दैट इज वेयर द कंundrum इज कि मल्टी बैगर्स मल्टी बेगर्स भी बहुत जल्दी बन जाते हैं एंड दे आर नॉट रियली रिलायबल। बहुत आसानी से वो पेनी स्टॉक चीप क्वालिटी में बदल जाएंगे। So how do you actually identify a company जो कि maybe small है which has potential to grow, and that is what we are here to discuss today with our microcap investor. तो हम लोग एक fundamental point of view से समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि what is it that makes an SME have a great potentially investment opportunity. Before we begin all of that, I would request sir, if we can get a brief overview of how you got into the markets, what do you do, and a brief introduction about you.
Yeah, hi Vishu. Thank you firstly for inviting me. So I've been in the market for around 10 years now. I have around 25-26% returns on a 10-year basis. Now, I had mostly over a course of the first half of my investing journey, invested primarily in large cap, mid caps, and mutual funds. It is only recently in the last 2 or 3 years that I have shifted to SMEs and micro caps. And I'm very open about it because earlier I used to consider them very risky and did not even touch them. Right now, I feel that they have very untapped potential. Regarding why my video is not active and why I'd not like to disclose my name is that because I actually applied to a lot of places, AMCs, PMSs, analyst desks, and I wanted to be a research analyst. But the market, it only sees your CV when you are applying. So that is the reason, I removed my name and only focused on my content. So now I focused on the work that I do. I focus on the content that I put out. I have removed myself from the rat race. So everything I do is only basis on the content.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that crisp introduction, sir. So without any further ado, sir, let's get into the cream of it. How do I know कि एक जो business है SME है वो अच्छी है या नहीं? What do I track in that business?
Okay, so now basic thing I'll tell you. The basic thing is कि firstly for an SME it comes in a lot. So what you have to do is if you have not read the detailed red herring prospectus, the DHRP, then there is no point in even thinking of investing in that company. If you are able to go and meet the management, that's well and good. But if you are not able to go and meet the management, at least you should know some basic accounting to read the DHRP. And what I normally tell people is I will never invest in an IPO. I will wait for an SME to list or wait for a microcap company to list, wait for the results to come out, at least one financial year result to come out or 3 quarter 4 quarter results to come out for basically a financial year also for a microcap where the lot system is not there, and then I will invest because a lot of volatility is there in SMEs and microcaps. This volatility tends to end in the companies that are very volatile, in companies that are growth companies, and volatility may not be there in the future. So this volatility even does not affect the growth. The earnings drive the growth of that company. Now, how I track the companies, it is a fairly simple but very boring process. So I will tell you a little about it. So what I do is basically now, today till now, there have been around 639 announcements on the exchange. Now, if you go on the exchange and make a list of your circle of competence, It can be, 20, 30 SMEs. It can be all companies between a certain market cap. So I track every company above 1500 market cap, and I track all the SME companies. There are around 410, 420 SME companies that are listed. And there are a certain number of companies above 1500 crore market cap. I track all of those companies. So I made watch lists of those companies. I track the results of those companies, but I invest only in a set number of companies. So I have made a screener watch list of those companies. That is the first thing I do. The second thing that I do is track for key words. Like I'll track for a preferential, I'll track for an order update, I'll track for things like ratings upgrade. So these are some key corporate announcements. If there is a bulk or block deal, I'll track for it. And if something like this happens in a company, or if there is a certain volume surge in a company, then what I'll do, I'll go on the exchange website, and I just check for the last 3 or 4 months. This is the exchange website. This is for a company, a listed company only. If any hints have been dropped by the company, now, hints are usually dropped by the company, like alteration of the capital clause. Such hints are dropped by the company, that the company is changing the memorandum of understanding, changing the article of association. Such hints are normally dropped by the company. So I then usually look for these hints. Now, a thing which is there is credit reports. Credit reports are a very wonderful thing which is there. So again, we will go on Asian Paints and see the credit reports and con call transcripts. These things, they will not be available for SME and microcap companies. For normal companies, they are available. Transcripts will not be available. Credit reports will definitely be available. So I wait for credit reports to come out. I see what credit report rating rational is saying about that particular company. This is something that I also take very seriously. If a company is a microcap and doing a con call, I find that as a very good thing about that particular company. Now, coming to brokerage reports, there are various sites out there, like Trendyline is also one of those sites. So they release brokerage reports which are public. Like you can go and you can just download the brokerage reports. So if I'm tracking any company and the brokerage report comes out on that company, I'll basically go and I'll see if the brokerage report is there. I'll download that brokerage report. I'll see what the analysts, the basically heavily paid analysts are saying about that company. If they feel that it's a buy or it's a sell. So that is what I'll see. If after doing this, I find that the company is interesting, then I go for the DRHP. Now, there are two things. There's an RHP and there's a DRHP. The DRHP is initially filed. After the comments of the regulator, then the company files the RHP and the listing happens. So I never read the RHP. I directly read the DRHP first, the document which is initially filed. So I read the DRHP. I read information about the industry in the DRHP. I read information about the business in the DRHP. Financials, I have already read because I've read the latest financials. I have not read the financials at the time of listing, like I told you, because I don't buy at the time of IPO. So I don't read those financials because I already know the latest financials. So if a company is interesting to me, I'll only go and I'll read what at the time of listing, before the regulator made any comments about the company, these people went and they said about the industry, they said about their business, they said about their promoter, they said about their business history. This is what I basically read in the DRHP. This is what I find very, interesting. If this is something that I like, I then go to TradingView. I have made some indicators on TradingView, but basically I rely a lot on moving averages. Like I consider moving averages to be the Lakshman Rekha of everything. On a weekly basis, if it is not a SME, the 40-week moving average is something which I consider the Lakshman Rekha, literally the Lakshman Rekha of everything. If it is an SME, then the whole game changes. Then the moving average goes up. It is like a DMA 15, DEMA 21, DEMA 40. So the whole game changes. I've made indicators for that. Now, if we go into the detail of that, it may take us some time. So I'll just tell you that indicator बनाए हुए हैं और मैं वो check करता हूँ. It is part of my process. After checking for that, then what I do is I do a DCF. It is not something a hi-fi DCF. It is a plain vanilla DCF. बिकॉज मेरे पास एक साल के नंबर्स उस समय ऑलरेडी आ चुके होते हैं. मैं फोमो फ्रेंजी में इन्वेस्ट ना आईपीओ में करता हूँ ना पहले साल में जब सब बोलते हैं कि ले लो ट्विटर पे डाल रहे होते. मैं तब करता हूँ इन्वेस्ट जब सबको लगता है अच्छा अब ये स्टॉक को हम डंप कर रहे हैं. अभी ट्विटर पे बोल रहे हैं डंप हो रहा है और पंप एंड डंप बहुत चल रहा होता है. मैं तब इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ बिकॉज आई बिलीव इन बाइंग कंपनीज लाइक आई एम बाइंग अ पीस ऑफ लैंड. So I invest then. There is one idea on Twitter called a 10K diver. He has written a beautiful thread on DCF. He's written a beautiful thread. If anybody does not know about DCF, this is a beautiful thread to refer to. मैंने खुद इसलिए नहीं लिखा अपनी DCF प्रोसेस के बारे में और मेंशन नहीं किया क्योंकि मैं इससे बेटर लिख नहीं सकता था. So I'm like, if he's written a very beautiful thread, so I just attached his thread to my thread on how I analyze businesses. So I use the DCF and then I just take a position in the company and play dead. I just take a position in the company. If it is an SME company, I wait for the half yearly results. If it is a microcap company, then I wait for the quarterly results. If the things don't turn out as they should over a course of one financial year in case of an SME or in case of microcap in 2 quarters. So in microcap, it is basically half year. In SME, it is a financial year. I exit the company. और अगर मूविंग एवरेज से नीचे चला जाता है तो मैं एग्जिट वैसे भी कर देता हूँ. सो दिस इज माय एंटायर प्रोसेस समड अप टू यू. आई होप मैंने ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लिया.
नहीं सर, दिस वाज ब्रिलियंट. इतना क्रिस्प और काफी कुछ मिला है. आई वाज ट्राइंग टू मेक शॉर्ट नोट्स ऑफ इट एज वेल. अगर मैं क्विकली उसको कोशिश करूँ समराइज करने की, सो यू रिलाई ऑन डीआरएचपी, दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. देन 1500 करोड़ का मार्केट कैप पे से अबव का मार्केट करोड़ का आप एक वॉच लिस्ट बना के अपना रखते हो जिससे कि आप
1500
ट्रैक करते रहो.
and all SME companies, that is my circle of competence. So my circle of
Awesome.
competence is no company below 1500 crore unless and until it is an SME.
Right. Awesome.
That is basically it's to the crisp explanation of it. And DRHP मैं तब तक नहीं पढ़ता हूँ जब तक कंपनी का एक साल लिस्टिंग का कंप्लीट नहीं होता है.
राइट राइट. देन यू कीप अ ट्रैक ऑन की जो भी उसमें फाइलिंग्स हो रही हैं, जो भी उसमें न्यूज आ रही है, प्रेफरेंशियल पे कुछ न्यूज आई, बल्क ऑर्डर्स पे है, बल्क डील हुई है, ऑर्डर अपडेट आया है, वॉल्यूम सर्च आया है, यू कीप एन एक्टिव आई ऑन ऑल ऑफ दैट. आप क्रेडिट रिपोर्ट्स पढ़ते हो, कॉन कॉल अगर होता है तो बहुत अच्छा है. देन डीआरएच में भी आपने बताया कि आप क्या क्या चीजों पर फोकस करते हो, कि इंडस्ट्री क्या है, बिजनेस के फंडामेंटल्स क्या है, एंड फाइनेंशियल से तो आप अभी करंट में अपडेटेड रहते हो,
I'll
सो
give
दैट
you a
इज
very
नॉट.
quick example. I'll give you a very quick example. There's an SME listed company. उसका एक ट्विटर पे इन्वेस्टर मिलने गया था तो उस कंपनी के किसी बंदे ने फाइलिंग कर दी थी. ट्विटर में जितने इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं, जितने फुरूज एंड एवरीबॉडी है, दे मेड ह्यूज मजाक बना दिया उस कंपनी के बारे में. मैंने स्पेसिफिकली लिखा था कि ये चीजें ड्राइव नहीं करती हैं, रिजल्ट्स ड्राइव करती हैं. अभी कंपनी एसएमई से मेन बोर्ड पे माइग्रेट हो रही है. मैं नाम नहीं बताऊंगा. कंपनी एसएमई से मेन बोर्ड पे माइग्रेट हो रही है और आई थिंक हो रही है कि मैं दूसरी कंपनी से कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ, पर कंपनी ने अपना फर्स्ट फेज हैदराबाद का कंप्लीट किया है ऑफ basically their expansion, and everybody in the market is talking about that company. Now I've been silently buying this company along with few other companies in my portfolio क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि किसी ऑडिटर के रिजाइन करने से, अरे यार सीए है, एक सीए जाता है दूसरा सीए आता है, अगर सीईओ रिजाइन कर रहा है तब तो सोचने की बात है. अगर एक सीए जाता है दूसरा सीए आ रहा है तो ठीक है, सीए बेवकूफ होगा, हो सकता है. See, I know CA who are very intelligent. I know company secretaries who are very intelligent, and I know CA and company secretaries who are not able to properly do their job. So उस कुछ नहीं होता है कि अरे सीए ने रिजाइन कर दिया, सीएस ने रिजाइन कर दिया. That is what should I say? प्रमोटर बाइंग पे जैसे मैं ध्यान रखता हूँ, तो ये ऐसी चीजों पे किस पे ध्यान रखना है, एकदम जमीन से जुड़ी हुई चीजों पे ध्यान रखना है, द बेसिक थिंग व्हाट आई से कि यू शुड बी इन द रियल वर्ल्ड, यू शुड नॉट बी इन द
राइट,
कि यू हैव गॉट सम गुड माल फ्रॉम मनाली वाला वर्ल्ड।
राइट। ओके, नेक्स्ट आप देखते हो टेक्निकल्स में, आप मूविंग एवरेजेस पे और कुछ एक इंडिकेटर्स आपने बना रखे हैं जिन पे आप रिलाई करते हो। डिस्काउंटेड कैश फ्लोज आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू, एंड जनरली आप एटलीस्ट 6 मंथ्स टू 1 ईयर का ट्रैक करते हो बिफोर क्विटिंग ऑन अ स्टॉक, की अगर इसमें अगर वो माइक्रो कैप है तो 6 मंथ्स के लिए उसको अंडर परफॉर्म करे, या 1 ईयर अगर ऐसे में है। एंड सर इसके अलावा एक क्वेश्चन आई हैड वाज कि जनरली काफी सारे लोग ऐसा भी करते हैं कि loans के ऊपर कि उसमें डेट कितना है कंपनी का एंड प्रमोटर होल्डिंग कितना है, ये दो चीजें बहुत ध्यान देते हैं। तो डू यू टेक दैट इन फॉर योर एनालिसिस?
See, if a promoter holding is more and it is gradually decreasing because the equity base is expanding, he's doing preferentials.
हम्म,
So that is something I don't consider it as a red flag, because usko paisa chahiye. So that person is basically
हम्म,
selling out, making more equity. He's
हम्म,
expanding. Now,
हम्म,
if regarding debt, he's having debt, and again he wants money.
हम्म,
So he is making provisions where more money is coming. Now, usually
राइट,
in these cases, what happens is high debt
हम्म,
companies, they do preferentials. That is why I keep an eye on preferentials, because
हम्म,
equity based dilute hota hai. When equity based dilutes, there are a
हम्म,
certain key of investors out there. And see, I have
हम्म,
nothing against them. I
हम्म,
respect investors very much, because a differing view makes a market. So if
राइट,
you are having a differing view, I am having a very good. So thing is कि ठीक है, both having a different equity base, आपका equity base 100 था, आपने 150 कर लिया, आपका EPS जो था, EPS आपका
हम्म,
X था, अब आपका
हम्म,
EPS Y हो जाएगा, पर
हम्म,
Y X से अभी कम रहेगा. But if
हम्म,
that money is properly utilized,
हम्म,
the new EPS that comes will obviously will be more than X, and it will beat the market estimates. So I
राइट,
am concerned about how that money is being used. पैसे की जरूरत सबको होती है.
राइट,
Everybody takes a loan, everybody utilizes that loan, everybody takes it. I am not concerned if that person is having high debt. He is in the market to do the business. If he'll not take loan, he'll not do the business. But if he's in the market and he is not taking loan and properly utilizing it,
हम्म,
then that is something which I consider, serious red flag for me. So I am more realistic in my investing philosophy. I am not a person who is like कि डेप्ट फ्री कंपनी होनी चाहिए और एकदम डिविडेंड देने वाली कंपनी होनी चाहिए और फ्री कैश फ्लो बहुत होना चाहिए. उसके लिए तो लार्ज
राइट,
कैप है ना. मैं इतने साल से लार्ज कैप्स में ही इन्वेस्ट कर रहा था. यहाँ तो आई एम इन्वेस्टिंग लाइक अ रियल बिजनेसमैन. यहाँ तो आई एम ट्रीटिंग
राइट,
मैनेजमेंट लाइक अ रियल बिजनेसमैन की ठीक है, मैंने आपको पैसा दिया है अपना, अब आप इस पैसे में मेरे लिए कितना कैपिटल जनरेट करके दे सकते हो, आप बताओ.
राइट। Awesome, awesome. Finally, sir, before I let you go, थोड़ा सा can we have a look at maybe I think आपने कुछ open कर रखे हैं अपने charting के tools and trading view पे भी आपने कुछ अपनी watch list और indicators वगैरह को open कर रखा है लोगों के लिए. So if you can have a look at that, and for our audience, we'll mention them in the description as well, so that you also have access to them.
So basically, I have put everything in a link tree. I'll
Okay.
not open every link. I'll just tell you about it. So,
Yeah.
I've put everything. So, my newsletter is the top link. Okay. And I've created a Slack community. It has around 150 plus members. The newsletter has around 1500 plus people. I've been writing for around 8 weeks now. In 8 weeks,
Okay.
we have around 1500 people. It is just an SME newsletter,
Hmm.
only SMEs, and every week. So we have 1500 Slack pay. We have around 150 people. It was started around 1 week back. Now
Oh,
I have a YouTube music watch list also. So वो भी है. इस पे मैं बाद में आता हूँ, बताता हूँ मैंने ये क्यों बनाया है. So I have two threads. One thread is how I analyze business, what I told you today. The other
yeah.
thread is my investment journey in mutual funds and how it has helped me. तो लाइक आई टोल्ड यू इनिशियली कि मैंने इनिशियली बहुत म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट किया था, आज भी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्टेड हूँ, पर आज मेरा सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ पोर्टफोलियो एसएमई माइक्रो कैप में है, और वो म्यूचुअल फंड और लार्ज कैप और मिड कैप का इन्वेस्टमेंट हेज करता है। आज अगर वो ड्रॉडाउन जीरो पे भी आ गया ये वाला पोर्टफोलियो, तो मेरा बाकी पोर्टफोलियो मेरे को वैसे भी अल्फा दे रहा है 25-26% का, तो आई डोंट वरी अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर पोर्टफोलियो। I have created three indicators. One is an SME indicator on TradingView, and one is an indicator which is basically for every other company in the market. It uses relative strength. It uses the high for 3 days. There are multiple things like मेरे को जो लगता है कि सब summarize एक जगह करके कर सकते थे ना. This was the version 1. This is the version 2. That is why three indicators are there. This was Mark 1. This is Mark 2. So now actually there are four indicators. चार बनाए थे. This is the latest indicator. Me 2.0 is the latest one. So I've made three or four watch lists. Now this watch list is every company above 1500 market cap. This watch list is every SME company in एनएसई, बिकॉज एनएसई की कोई एसएमई कंपनी को ट्रैक करना है तो सीधे एनएसई एक्सचेंज में जाना पड़ता है. मेरे को बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता था. मैंने उसका सोल्यूशन के लिए क्या करूं, तो मैंने बोला चलो ट्रेडिंग व्यू में 1 बाय 1 सारी कंपनीज को मैं ऐड कर देता हूं, जितनी भी एनएसई एसएमई की कंपनी है, और एक पब्लिक वॉच लिस्ट बना देता हूं. मेरा भी काम हो जाएगा, बाकी लोग का भी हो जाएगा. दिस इज ऑल मेजर इंडाइसेस. एवरी मेजर इंडाइस दैट ट्रेडर और इन्वेस्टर शुड बी ट्रैकिंग. I've also made some customs on screeners from volume shopper to companies that have become 10 bagger to just a second see dividend volume shockers, move companies above 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. There are multiple things that here I've made. So then there's the charting dashboard and the workshops that I conduct. So I conduct paid workshops, but they are not weekly or monthly. I conduct them every 7 or 8 months. The first workshop I conducted was last month on AI for business analysis. It had decent reviews and it had decent, people subscribe to it. They liked it very much. Now the reviews are public. अच्छे बुरे सब public reviews है इसमें. तो अब I'll conduct it after 7-8 months because I want कि AI और progress कर जाए इतना कि 7-8 महीने बाद मैं एक और वर्कशॉप कंडक्ट करूं तो मैं इतना उसमें बता सकूं जितना मैं पिछले वर्कशॉप में नहीं बता सकता था. This is something which I've created for people who like my work and who want to, just buy me a beer or contribute. So this is basically a contribution page. People can contribute anything. So I don't, regularly tell them कि अरे contribute करना है. But if people want to contribute, they can contribute from as less as 400 rupees. So whatever I do for all for free. Only the workshops I charge. Only the workshops I charge, and it is for people who are seriously interested, and those workshops are also like once or twice a year. That is about what the tools I've made and everything. And right now, one more tool which got introduced today. I did it. I'm now going to make a momentum watch list, weekly momentum watch list, which will be live on Tijori. It will be added here. तो उसमें जितने भी मोमेंटम स्टॉक्स हैं मेरे चार्टिंग डैशबोर्ड स्क्रीनर वाले स्क्रीन से एंड मेरे ट्रेडिंग व्यू डैशबोर्ड से उनका कंपाइलेशन करके अराउंड 5 or 7 कंपनीज I would add on that Tijori public watch list. I would put it here, and every week I'll be posting about that कि अच्छा ये इस वीक डाला था, ये इस वीक डाला था. तो I just had the word with actually Tijori. अभी बात हुआ था मेरा just before the this started. तो मैं ट्विटर पे लाइव ही हुआ था बात अभी पब्लिक था. So yeah.
Awesome. That was brilliant. बहुत शॉर्ट स्पैन में बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला. आई होप हम लोग आई एम श्योर दिस वाज नॉट इनफ. आपसे हम लोगों को और भी इन टॉपिक्स में और भी डाइव डीप करेंगे, काफी कुछ समझते रहेंगे. But for now, thank you so much, sir, for taking out time and talking to us and helping us learn your process. I'm sure बहुत लोगों को इससे बहुत फायदा होगा. So from the bottom of my heart, gratitude to you.
Most welcome, Vishu. Thank you very much for considering me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, हो गया सर. We'll try to release this recording आज या at most कल सुबह तक. So edit
आराम
करके
से,
थोड़ा सा.
कोई गलती नहीं है.
All right, all right. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.